Sup peeps, random person here. Welcome to the first episode of what I like to call character capture. Yep, that's the name. Technically it's a character analysis, but you know. What I do here on the CC is I take a character from a video game, analyze their history, personality, and literature significance to see if I can capture exactly what their creators were going for. This is my own personal views on this subject, so don't beat me up if you disagree or if I don't like vanilla pudding, because, let's face it, chocolate is obviously better. Oh, and you should know that for whatever character I choose, there will be spoilers for the game that they are in. Now, to start off this series, our first character will be none other than... In case you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Twilight Princess Link's personality. But I guess I want to be fair here, so I'll try to leave out all biased opinions. Some of you might be thinking that
it's pointless to analyze Twilight Princess Link considering he has no personality and every Link in the Zelda series is the exact same.
Well, to those people, I have something to say. But I'm a nice random person, so I'm not going to say it. Instead, just move on. Link here was born in the town of Ordon. Oh, sorry about that. He lives in the town of Ordon. As is tradition in this series, many details about the protagonist is left out because people don't care. The game implies that he's a descendant of the knights that existed in Hyrule's earlier period, and due to the hero shade and some other source that I'm too lazy to look up, it is highly likely that he is a descendant of the Hero of Time. Nah, I don't see the resemblance. But that's all the game gives us, if you can even call that giving. While we can't say for certain what happened to our home dog, we can certainly make some assumptions based on the clues in his current life. That's how real theorists work. Don't need real evidence, just need theories. While all the houses in Ordon are in a general location, Link's is separated. This could be similar to the Hero of Time symbolism, showing that while the village does accept him, he is somewhat of an outsider. Or it could just be a coincidence. Note, however, that Link is the only child living in Ordon without parents. What happened to them? We can definitely say that the village as a whole adopted Link. Just look at all the stuff they give him. I'll bet none of this stuff in here is his. That was a gift, that was a gift, that was definitely a gift. Hey, isn't that Fado's missing pitchfork? Ah, what do we care? He doesn't need it. Link does all the farm work anyway. Remember how I said Link lives in Ordon rather than being born in Ordon? Unlike other Zelda games where being human meant being either Hylian or Gerudo, don't start that arguing, this game has humans that don't have freakishly large ears, making some fans believe that they are simply humans and people with pointy ears are Hylians. Link, however, still has pointy ears while his fellow Ordonians all decided to devolve their hearing functions. It leans more towards Link being born outside the village and later entering. If we only had some insight on his parents, we could learn a little bit more about Link. But be they out adventuring, lost, or still buried in the ditch that I left them in, no one ever really says what happened to them. Note that if this is true and Link was originally born outside of Ordon, it would have been a while back. Russell asks Link if it's his first time ever leaving the forest. If Link had come from outside of Ordon, it must have been so far back that now would be considered his first time leaving. And if Link has lived in Ordon his whole life, a quaint little village where everyone knows everything about everybody, why does Russell ask this? Shouldn't he know that Link has never left the village before? I'm pretty sure Link isn't originally from Ordon. I'm just unsure about what time in his life that he arrived in the village.
This Link has the same personality as all Links in the series.
Shut up, no he doesn't. Twilight Princess Link, personality speaking, is probably the most unique of the Links. He has what I like to call the farmer's oldest son stereotype. Now, after re-examining this, I've determined that it should actually be called the Hebraic oldest son stereotype, because, and all you studiers of the Bible out there should know this, Link follows more so the traits of the eldest son of an ancient Hebraic family. But he's white, so farmer sounds better. This term that I completely made up and should be getting a a nickel every time somebody uses it means that a person lives in a family trade environment where they are the eldest male offspring and therefore are heavily dependent upon and expected to further carry out the family business. While Link himself has no family, if we view the entire village of Ordon as his symbolic family, the dude fits this trait almost perfectly. He is the eldest among the children of the village. He works under Russell and the Goat Mayor, the two most important people in town. The most important occupation of the village, the ranch, is run by Link. Well, it's actually run by Fido, but you know. The village heavily relies on Link to get things done for them. And given this, his relationship with the mayor's daughter, and the fact that the children worship the ground that he walks on, it is very likely that Link will become the next mayor. Until this game messes him up and makes him think that he has to go out adventuring. Going back to the other kids of Ordon really quickly, they help meet Link's stereotype. Link being what he is, the younger siblings of the family would look up to and respect him. Which they do. I mean, these guys are in awe at everything Big Brother Link does. Well, except for the E-Trade baby. And that's okay, it makes sense that the youngest sibling wouldn't see the value of the eldest. It seems a bit weird to call Ordon a symbolic family, considering Link and Elia make lovey-dovey faces every chance they get. But being that this is only a symbolic family, the game can get away with little things like that. Besides, in ancient Hebraic times, it wasn't too weird to marry inside the family. Now this concept is something I would normally bring up in the literature portion, but I feel it's important here. Link's role as the farmer's oldest son defines his personality. Living in such a tight-knit family makes him very protective of those he loves. Being the oldest makes him used to people relying on him for specific tasks, and would make him prone to accepting other tasks that aren't his responsibilities to begin with. It also explains his extremely high morality, and coming from a folksy peasant village means he's going to appreciate the little things while not having that city mentality. Throw all this into one pointy-eared guy, and you've got someone who overall just wants to do the right thing. This is Zelda, and thus the hero is generally going to be a child. But the hero Twilight is mentally, and perhaps physically, the oldest child the Zelda series has seen. He's very reliable, unlike some other Links who tend to be incredibly lazy. And while other Links get a lot of praise because of their talents, this Link gets it due to his hard work. Don't get me wrong, most Links do indeed do a lot of helpful tasks, but it's usually because random people don't know how to do their own work, and so they ignore labor laws and pay some kid to do it for them. With the hero Twilight, people ask him to do things because he has a sense of responsibility about him. He's not a lazy yet talented kid. He's a hardworking, respectable young man. Let's get the cliche stuff out of the way first. This being a Zelda game means there's going to be some theme of transforming from child to knight. Link does that, it's obvious, let's move on. We've already mentioned the farmer's son stereotype, so no need to repeat. One thing we haven't talked about yet is light. Twilight Princess has a hidden theme about dealing with light, twilight, and darkness. This is shown throughout its characters, including Link. He's what I like to call a light character. He has high moral boundaries and sees things as black and white. Doing evil is not tolerable to such characters, and they are seen as the ultimate do-gooders. Twilight Princess is filled with light characters, however Link's light shines a bit more brightly. Notice how when in Twilight, everyone else turns into weakling ghosts, while Link becomes an epic wolf. This symbolizes that his light doesn't fade as much as the rest of the light dwellers when in Twilight. Our hero appears brighter for two reasons. One, he's the hero. Puts him pretty much in the spotlight. Two, his partner in crime. While I won't go into details about Midna until she gets her own character captured, it should be noted that she is a shadow character, one willing to do evil in order to accomplish good. Link, being a light character, is foiled whenever he's near Midna. These two spend almost the entire game together, so their personalities are the most visible when playing the game. Link's light appears so much radiant when next to Midna's twilight. This makes Link seem brighter than any other character in the game, except for Zelda, of course. It should also be noted that Link and Midna are used to symbolize how light and shadow characters should get along, despite their differences. At the beginning of the game, Link pretty much hates Midna, and she's not exactly nice to him. But by the end, they accept and understand each other's ways of living. So much so that Link really cares for Midna. It just goes to show that every knight in shining armor has a shadow right beside him, according to this game. And lastly, there's Link's role as fan service. Twilight Princess Link is meant to please the fangirls of the Zelda series, and he's not even trying to hide it. Many Zelda fans believe Twilight Princess to be the most visually pleasing, and Link is no exception. I mean, just look at that shirtless scene. You can't tell me that this wasn't put here to make the fangirls go, "Oh, my eyes! Oh, man, it burns!" Link was not only made to be visually pleasing, but pretty much the perfect date. Have you seen this guy's dating profile? He wrangles goats. He loves animals. He's good with children. He's a master swordsman. He can slay gigantic creatures and end with a cool sword twirl. And to top it all off, adults seem to love him almost as much as his fan base. Ladies, introduce this guy to your parents and they will not be disappointed.
Random person does not support dating fictional characters. It's weird, don't do it.
Overall, simply put, Link is a nice guy. His non-existent background doesn't really add nor take away from his character. Being raised by a loving family has given him valuable traits, making him courageous, caring, a hard worker, a good big brother, and a loyal friend. He has a rather naive sense of justice, but that doesn't mean he won't get going when the going gets tough. Link is someone to look up and aspire to. He brings out not only the best in himself, but in those around him as well. He's the kind of person that makes it very difficult to hate him. Be they friends, strangers, those who disagree with him, or even royalty, Link gains respect from all. People support him not because he's talented, but because his demeanor shows that he has the potential to become something great, and they want to help him get there. He's good looking, loved by all, and destined for greatness. If while playing Twilight Princess, you saw a courageous, hardworking, and caring young man with the immense potential of becoming a knight, then I believe you've captured Link's character.